So wait, you had a set last night though?
Yeah, at the stand.
How'd it go?
It was fun. I had to. The show is called Beef and Broccoli. So there's 4 comedians who tell stories, and one story is a lie, and then the audience has to figure out which one is a lie.
Okay.
So I had to tell a fake story.
What's that to do with beef and broccoli though? Is there?
I have no idea.
Okay,
that's just the name of the show.
Okay, cool.
Comedy shows just have weird names.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but it was really fun.
Have you done that before?
No, it's only the second show they've had with that setup. So
that's
cool. I like that because it's more interactive.
Yeah, at the end, the audience could ask us questions about our story so they could figure out which one was the lie. And there was one drunk guy who was like so aggressive. He goes, "Name the name of the club you were at." I was like, "Whoa, why are you so angry, dude?" Like, this is crazy. Like, just ask me. Yeah. But they figured out I was the liar because my story was way too crazy. And then 3 other guys' real stories, because they were real, were just like normal stories. I was like, oh, they're gonna find it out because I made mine too nuts.
That's so fun. That's a cool concept. I definitely like that.
Yeah, I think they'll do it every month. So my friend Gaster runs it. Check it out. It's
okay,
really cool.
That's awesome.
I like that.
Yeah, I'm down to check that out. We're always down to find new stuff.
Do you get a lot of like hecklers or anything like that?
Not anymore. Like, people are pretty good. Like, people's comedy IQ in New York especially is pretty good. People don't really heckle that much. Probably more on the road. People will, especially if you're doing a more intimate, like a bar, something like that, where people aren't really in like a show setting. They feel like you're there to entertain them. Then they'll get a little more brave and start saying stuff. And also, like, now being 14 years in, I've experienced like every form of heckling. Like, I've been attacked on stage. Like,
what?
Yeah,
attacked, like physically
physically attacked. Yeah, twice.
Wow.
What?
Yeah. So now, like, if someone says something, I'm just like, I'm good. That's nothing, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Early on, this drunk woman ran on stage, and I had to pick up the mic stand like this and block her. Yeah, and like and then
why?
So she was drunk. And then security threw her out, and she stayed the whole show outside and waited for me. Waited for me.
Waited for you.
Yes. And I came out, and I was like, "Why did you do that?" And she was like a little more sober now. And she goes, "I just wanted to tell you that my husband is stationed in Japan." And I was like, "What?"
What?
Like, because I'm Asian, and that's all. That's it. That's all. That was her explanation. It was like, this is so. It was like, okay, I'm gonna leave now. It was so weird. I think she was drunk, so her brain was all messed up.
But like,
it was so weird.
Yeah, that is so weird.
Yeah.
Like, she's like, I had to tell you.
Yeah, she ran onto the stage. It was bonkers. And then right before I moved to New York, I did a show where the guy who booked the show was like this. He had to be like 300, 400 pound Tongan guy.
Oh my god!
And he was actually cool. Like, I had done a lot of shows with him, but the host of the show was late, so the booker had to host the show, and he wasn't a comedian, so he was really nervous, and he got really drunk. And he's a big guy, so he had a lot to drink. So during my set, because he knew me well, he starts heckling me, and then he runs onto the stage, and he's like big, he's huge. He grabbed me and threw me off the stage.
Whoa.
And then I like,
You're like, I'm back at wrestling.
yeah, exactly.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Flashback.
You're like, tap, tap.
He threw me off the stage, right? I land, and then he's so drunk, and it's not like a very sturdy stage because the show's just like in a bar. He fell face first through 2 tables. And then someone recorded this whole thing on their phone and sent it to the news, and it made it onto the news.
Oh my god!
They're like, comedy booker like causes ruckus at bar. Yeah, it was like it's not to me. It wasn't really a story because it was like someone just got drunk, but I guess it's a story. I don't know. They were trying to go viral.
Nothing phases you anymore.
No, after that, it's like, dude, if someone yells, I'm gonna just say something, and like. The longer you do stand up, the more you realize like no one in the audience, especially if they're drunk, is going to say anything funnier than I can say. You know what I mean? And the people who usually talk are people who are like, oh, I could do comedy. It looks so easy.
Oh, geez.
And like those are the dumbest people. Smart people just sit and watch. They never, you know.
That's
Yeah.
interesting. That makes sense, actually.
I had like a really weird. Okay, so I went to a comedy show, and we went with like I went with friends, and then like friends of friends, and one of our friends' girlfriends. I don't know if she was drunk. I just think like this. She just is this person,
Yeah.
and
I know exactly the type of person you're talking about.
You already might know what's about to come. Right? Keep
yeah,
going,
it
right?
is like. But I didn't expect this. So we were at the. Oh my goodness. Where? Anyways, it was like a show on a Sunday. Why can't I remember what it was? Where is it? Where all the like? What's the street where all like the
In the West Village. Where
In the
all
West
ones
Village,
are?
yeah.
it's part of the cellar then.
Yeah, so a comedy cellar on a Sunday, and we're there, and it's it's pretty intimate in the basement. So, she was kind of loud, like just like they're serving food, and she's like, "Oh, the chicken tenders are here,"
my
and I'm
God,
like,
yeah.
I was like, and I was just sitting like right over here.
And
so.
she's a friend of a friend.
Yeah,
You're like,
she's a friend's
I'm with her."
girlfriend.
Oh yeah,
Friends of a friend
that's
girlfriend.
the worst. Yeah.
So the last comedian goes up, and he's talking about. Have you guys heard about like Where's Waldo? Remember Where's Waldo? And she goes, "It's not Waldo, it's Wally."
What?
Yes. She's from Australia, I guess.
No.
And apparently, so the guy like hears her because she's loud at this
Right.
point. And he goes, "Okay, Waldo, Wally, whatever you want to call it." And she's like, "No, it's Wally." So she keeps like, she just can't let it go.
Ridiculous.
So, I mean, the comedian's just like, pretty much like trying to ignore her. He's like trying to acknowledge it
Right.
too as well. And he's like, "All right, like calm down, like whatever you want to call it, we're going to call it." Right.
Yeah.
And she just won't let it go. She won't stop talking about it. And then he finally was like kind of shutting her down. He was getting annoyed. And he's like, "You're kind of like the most annoying friend in the friend group right now." Like totally
That's amazing.
embarrassing.
Yes.
That's
She
amazing.
still didn't get it.
Right.
Like she kept going. She's laughing at this point.
Right.
I'm like, "No, like you're getting roasted here."
Right.
But she just kept going. The comedian was just like, "All right, guys, have a good night." Like we
Yeah.
didn't hear the final joke because of her.
Those people never understand. They never get like.
I just was like, I was like mortified, and I was like, does anybody tell her that she
Yeah.
kind of ruined that
No, but
thing?
it was a big comedian too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What's his face on SNL? Chris Red or
Oh
like,
man, he's so good.
and he's
too.
So
he's hilarious.
good. I was
Man.
embarrassed. So
I mean, I wasn't there, but you told me, and I was like,
So
"Geez,
Chris,
at least,
if you ever see this, I apologize.
Those-
I was with that
at least
group.
pick like
I
someone that's
know.
not funny, maybe." Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was
Like,
so
really?
good.
That guy's
Yeah.
really funny.
Yeah,
He's
it was,
great. Those people too. Sometimes they'll come up to you and be like, "Didn't I help you? I made the show better." It's like
Oh,
you never
no.
help.
No.
Like, You just what the comedians want is just everyone be quiet and then laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can never help a comedian because we write all this material like by ourselves. We don't need like an extra hand. you know?
Yeah, that's so funny. Yeah, you gotta be like an extra. I don't know, like if
I
you're
don't
that
know.
person
I
to
just
be
know
that
she's not
person.
invited to
Yeah.
any comedy show.
No, right?
Yeah.
That's,
Like-
dude, that sucks for the friend because now he has the girlfriend you can't take anywhere.
Yeah, but I
Yeah,
think,
right. Basically,
Yeah.
like,
honestly,
damn.
I don't
Right.
think he like knows. I'm
That's
like,
the thing.
and that's the thing. I
Love
think
is blind.
love is blind. No, love is blind.
He doesn't realize.
And then I think I'm like, people like that get boyfriends, like and I'm like, what?
She really just speaks her mind, you know?
You
Yes.
just gotta channel your inner Gigi and just speak your mind.
Yeah, that's right. He's like, I like how confident she is. It's like, actually, she's very annoying.
Yeah.
And we don't want to be seen with you two anymore. Oh, man.
so
Yeah, so basically, I've experienced like every form of heckling. Like, it is super scary when you're new and you don't know how to deal with it. But then it's just like you just get hardened and then you
Yeah.
learn how to do it. Yeah.
And I feel like outside of New York, it's probably worse, like you said.
100%. Yeah, New Yorkers are so good. Like they're generally everyone here goes to shows, whether it's music or Broadway
Yeah.
or stand up. Like people just know how to act here. So that's great.
Not a-
It's when you start going out to like Connecticut,
suburb, yeah.
Pennsylvania, where people are kind of like, all right,
This is my Saturday night. This is my
exactly.
time.
And they get
This
a
is my
little
time to shine.
Right.
I've been waiting all week.
yeah, they get a little too drunk. They get a little too like cozy with you. So yeah.